This is All Things Nerd production.
What's up, everyone, and welcome back to Kobolds in the Basement podcast. My name is Chad Hillson. I am your game manager. We are joined with Dave Morris.
All that's left fits in a cup after I blew Franny up. Caster Flamebeard.
Schaloan Dysland.
Bought Franny 2.0 and went back to the casino. Luminora.
And Steven Dysland.
Well, that went off without a hitch. We made Franny our bitch. Valerian.
All right, let's get into it. This is Kobolds in the Basement. All right, now before we get started, let's do a quick recap of the last episode. Our heroes find themselves in this underground lair with a giant sludge, Franny-esque being who comes to life, starts throwing sludge around, fighting them off. And as they battle their way through and against him, eventually coming out victorious, only to make their way back to Oldengarf's casino. Once they get back there, they kind of explain everything that they found on their last trek. And Oldengarf held up his end of the bargain, found a way for our heroes to make their way back to the mortal plane and out of this Underdark, Kyber-esque realm. He hands that over to them, tells them to have a good night. Also, if Tevin wants to go with them, if they're willing to protect him and give him the life that he wants. Our heroes go off to bed, and that's where we are now. So we're going to pick up the morning after. Each of you are in your own separate rooms at the casino, trying to, gather your things before you start making your way on this trek. From what Oldengarf has told you, it's about a day's hike to get to the nearest portal. Let's check in with Cass to start. So as you're getting up, starting to get ready for the day, kind of what are you doing before you leave your room?
Getting up and packing up my stuff and getting ready to put my my armor and all on, and I go over and it's a casino, so I'm sure there's a mirror in the room.
Yeah.
Just look at myself in the mirror, and you can see right in the center here is just all black on Caster, and then all the veins and all that are just coming out from there that they saw last time. So it's all spidering out in all directions from the center. And I just look in the mirror and go, "Not today, you bastard. Not today." And then I pack up, put my armor on, get ready to try to get back to the surface.
All right, and then let's jump from there over to Luminora. As you're getting ready for the day, what is she doing? How does she get ready?
Oh, I'd say I get ready with a chipper whistle, packing my books, like a little prance around the room while I get dressed, happy to get the heck out of here. Do my hair in the mirror probably.
Okay.
And probably go to like the casino floor.
All right, and anything for Valerian as he gets ready?
Yeah, as I'm packing up my stuff in my bag, stuffing some clothes in there. I pull out my trusty mask that I've been hauling with me for all these years, and just kind of take a deep, reminiscing look at it. Kind of debate keeping it, more in my my pocket, if you will, than kind of in my traveling sack. But I do end up just putting it back in my backpack instead of keeping it close. But then on the way out, I look at the reflective metal excuse of a mirror and fix my hair and then head out.
All right. So as you all make your way down to the, from the in aspect of the casino down to the floor, you see Oldengarf is sitting at a table with Tevin, just talking briefly. Sees you all coming down, stands up, has the map for you, hands it to whoever wants to take it, and you see as you gather your things, you're getting towards the door, that Oldengarf kind of stops Tevin for a second, hands him a coin, and if anyone wants to give me a perception check, they can. It's going to be a DC 15 to kind of eavesdrop.
Not my thing.
Nat 20.
Dang, girl. It's only a 13 for Valerian. He's
That's only a 9 for me.
just a little groggy.
All right, so Luminora with a nat 20. You're the only one that really picks up on this. As Oldengarf hands this coin to Tevin, you can make out both subtly by listening and just by kind of like watching his lips. You can kind of fill the gaps. He says to Tevin, "Okay, so if you ever find yourself in trouble and you need help and want to come home, all you have to do is prick your finger or something with your blood and press this coin and just think of me, and either myself or someone will come and bring you home." And then they embrace, and after that Oldengarf walks up to you, you three. He's got a couple of little satchels that has some day rations, some water, and gives you each 25 gold pieces each, just as a thank you and to help with your travels. As he's handing stuff to you all, how do you react?
Well,
Try to give him a hug.
Yeah, you want to give him a
Big
hug?
Teddy bear. Yeah.
All right. So as Luminara goes in for a hug, obviously he scoops you up. He holds you tight. Your feet are dangling off the ground by a couple of feet. It's just straight uppies. And he whispers in your ear and says, mind the stone in that dagger of yours. It seems like there's a protective spell on it because moonstones should not be red. And then he squeezes you tightly and sets you back down. And then kind of, even though you just did your hair and he sees that it's freshly brushed, he kind of rustles it anyways. And just, look after my son. I didn't get the time that I wanted with him, but he wants and needs to be his own man. So just continue to treat him well.
I will protect him with my life.
I go up for like a almost like good and strong, almost predator like handshake with him.
Oh,
Boom.
Predator handshakes you back, clasps it, holds on just for a second longer than what you would expect, looks you dead in the eyes, and just nods understandingly.
I'll keep them safe.
I know you will.
When he hands me the gold, I toss one of the coins back to him. Sorry about the mess.
You have no idea how many people I have that just will clean up without this gold piece, but I appreciate it. And then he looks you deeply into your eyes and says, when you first came here, you had a mask on top of your head that you pulled down. Just be wary of the mask and don't let it control who you really are. And then he kind of cups you behind the head, but his thumb kind of just runs along your cheek.
I blush.
Not what I meant by that, but okay. You guys get out of here.
Thank you. I think.
All right, before you all take off, is there any last minute things that you want to do in the casino with Oldengarf or anything like that, or do you just want to get going?
I'm pretty good. We got a long way ahead of us.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yep, yeah, I think I'm set too.
All right.
I doubt he knows anything about crime syndicates in a different dimension, so
You ready to go, Tevin?
Yeah, I'm good to go.
All right. Well, let's get you up and let you see the surface for the first time.
I just want to see the sun. That's all I want to see. So you all take off. You start making your way back down the main road, kind of back the way that you came. As you're making your way, everyone give me a perception check as you've traveled a couple of hours so far.
13.
Ooh, a 5.
13 for me too.
Note to self, next character will have proficiency in perception.
So,
Oh,
as Cass is going, he's just ready to get back to the surface level. He's missed so much time there, and was only back for a brief moment. So, just kind of keeping your head down, following the map, following the trails. With 13s, both Valerian and Luminora, as you make your way down the road, you pass a familiar tree. You notice that there are still ropes hanging.
how did
And-
those get there?
And there are 4 hands still clutched to it that have been cut off, not even at the elbow, a little bit further up. But there's only enough for 2 people. A third set of rope is just hanging with nothing. The rope just looks frayed. That's all you really notice. So you keep making your way down the road. As you are traveling, is there anything that you are talking about? Anything that's on your minds? Whether from what you just saw along the side of the road or everything that's happened down here.
Side note, can I
I swear if you
Literally.
say hit a finger.
it's gonna try to ritually cast Find Familiar, but
You're not our ritual caster.
I thought I could ritually cast that.
Only if you have the ritual casting ability.
Can I not ritually cast it? Just get J. Edgar back in the mix.
I'm just sorry. I'm quickly.
Just it takes an hour and it actually has a decent material cost if I remember correctly.
Just kind of looking. I don't see anything that would be. I know that it is something that can be ritually cast. I just don't know if you can ritually cast it.
It would be on the arcane on his character sheet if he had the ritual ability. I don't believe arcane tricksters get ritual casting. He'd have to take the feat for it. Yeah, and it consumes 10 gold pieces worth of material when he casts it.
I think you have that, bud.
Just look up arcane trickster. Arcane tricksters of player's handbook. Spellcasting, cantrip, spell slots, spells known. No, he's new ritual casting.
Well, that sucks.
Even if it's not cast ritually, can he not still recast that and just burn a spell slot?
Yeah, he can. He has to burn a spell slot.
Yeah.
And the 10 gold pieces worth of material.
So if you want to do that, you're more than welcome to.
I will. I'll bring him back.
Okay.
We've all missed him, I think.
Yeah, so over that hour, obviously you're, casting Find Familiar. You get Jagger back.
It's basically just a big game of Marco Polo.
But yeah, we're about a third of the way through the hike. to get to this portal. Jagger is back. Anything else that you are all trying to do, conversate about, discuss, anything like that while you are making your way through this?
So why one person being freed? I get that he had a friend. Why cut off the arms? I think I have a particularly twisted mind sometimes, but that's
I'm guessing somebody else freed them both, and the one guy was punished.
it's even worse.
And it's entirely possible they tried to steal from the wrong person.
That's what a life of crime will get you. Hear that, Tevin?
Yeah, I'm not worried about that. I'm
pointing from the eyes to his.
Yeah, I'm sticking with you guys, and if we do things that might not be the best, at least I have you. But I feel like
We can all be
motives.
morally gray together.
I
Yeah.
try not to be that gray if I can. I mean, sure, there's lots of gray, but you know what, Valerian, you seem to be much more on the extreme than the rest of us. You seem to see things more black and white.
Sometimes, just when they are.
But
Wrong can only be defined as wrong.
yeah, but that leads to all right, who's defining what's wrong.
The ones who
What
are
I believe is wrong might not be the same as you.
I think that's where the phrase comes in for morally gray area. Or did I misunderstand?
Nah, you're pretty good.
You're on the right track.
But granted, I'm pretty sure Valerian and I, there are certain things that he and I would definitely agree would both definitely agree are wrong. So,
Like murder.
you really want to go on that one?
Yes, please. Yes.
A lovely tree. You guys see that tree over there? That is a nice tree. Luminora, how's your books?
Not as good as this conversation.
Tell you what, guys, I am so looking forward to fresh air and sunshine. Been down here. We haven't been down here that long, but I hadn't gotten a chance to get used to the surface again.
That had to be hard being away, finally getting back, just to be taken away all over again.
Yeah, that was probably the worst. Is just I thought I was just getting my feet back under me, and then we get pulled down here. I mean, at least it was only plane shifted and not time traveled or anything. So when we get back up to the surface, it'll only be in, a week or so, versus potential years.
Let's hope.
So
It's been a pretty wild week. I'm not going to be counting anything out.
yeah, no, this week has definitely been unusual. I like enemies who are made of solid matter, not sludge. It just feels a lot better when you hit them.
You're not wrong.
Can't exactly slit the throat of sludge.
Nah, but again, you're going into that lovely morally gray area again, aren't you?
No, not at all.
I think
Only
yes.
if they deserve it.
You saying something, Todd?
I was just saying it seemed like he kind of was going into that morally gray area, but then he explained. Yeah, that's kind of where I was going.
Yep. But who has the map that Oldengarf had?
That Luminora grabbed it.
I didn't grab it.
We can say she.
Did
so-
we leave it?
The Cass. Well, Chad, you did say that Cass was just walking, looking at the map with like
Yeah,
anticipation
to
get back.
start. But it could have been passed around. Obviously, you guys have it. So yeah, whoever wants to take a look at it.
I suppose.
I mean, it's detailed. It's much better than the map that you had to find Franny's lair. So just to make sure that you're kind of still on the right path, whoever is holding the map, give me either a survival or a nature check. with advantage because it is a detailed map.
So I've got a +3 to survival.
I do not. Luminora should be
Yeah, she should have me.
natural.
7.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would say.
Oh no, a 9.
Well, with advantage, so
Oh.
take the higher.
24.
20? Oh, that's right.
Yeah, so I mean, you're reading this like words on a page. So as you're making your way down the main road, you're very able to spot where the path that you have to take diverts. So you keep following that. You're making pretty good time, even though you've been, chatting while walking. You're not just like being mall walkers at this point in time, just power walking from Macy's to Sears. Oh my God. Did I just age myself by mentioning both Macy's and Sears? But yeah, you're making pretty good time. As you start getting off of the main road and you're navigating through by use of the map through kind of like caverns, pathways and stuff like that, through rock faces. Everyone give me perception checks. Everyone can do this at advantage because you're just walking and looking around, but still, in the same general.
16.
13.
20.
And a 20. Okay, so with 13, Cass, you notice not a whole lot, because from what you've noticed over the past week or so that you have been down here, or at least what you think has been a week or so since you've been down here, the landscape resembles what you learned about in school of what Sire was, but there's some differences. Instead of deep caverns, there's mountains and stuff like that. So you just are kind of noticing offset landscapes of what you would have learned about as a young lad. Valerian and Luminora both with a 16 and a 20. As you're walking around, you notice, especially in these caverns and stuff like that, within the rocks, you kind of see traces of Blythe, in the cracks of the rocks. It almost looks like moss growing at this point in time. It doesn't seem to be flowing up or down. It just kind of seems to be stuck within the rock faces. As you are navigating your way.
Okay.
It's kind of gross.
What's gross?
This blight crap.
Yeah.
It's just there. It's not doing anything.
Yeah, well, maybe without Franny around, it's a little bit more inactive. Maybe you need somebody to, control it.
Does anyone want to touch it?
Not particularly.
No.
Very well. Moving on.
So you continue your hike onward. Now it's getting kind of towards the end of the day. Based on the map that you have, you feel like you're kind of getting close. A mile or so before you notice that you have to kind of go deeper into a cavern, but you're still a couple of miles away, so you probably have 30 to 40 minutes ish of walking before you get there. Is there any other conversation that you guys are trying to have, or anything like that? Or are you just pushing forward, just eager to get out of here?
I want to look around, look back, make sure nobody's following us. Last thing we need is somebody like Franny coming up to the surface.
All right. Give me a perception check or investigation.
17.
Yeah, with the 17, you're not noticing anything is really following you. Again, based on your knowledge of what this landscape should look like, you know that it's varied, but you don't notice anything that seems to be like tracking you, following you, or anything like that.
Well, it looks like if Branny had a boss, they're nowhere close. Seems to be all clear behind us.
Should we cover our tracks just in case?
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't hurt to, try to make us harder to follow.
All right,
I'll
everyone.
look for like a branch or something to try and just break and sweep up our tracks if we're leaving anything visible.
Okay. I will give you all the option here then. I don't know. Either give me a stealth or a deception check. Either if you're trying to like hide your tracks as you make them, or if you're trying to cover your tracks. If you're trying to cover your tracks, give me a deception check. If you're just trying to mask your tracks as you are going along, give me a stealth check. Either one is fine.
Well, I'll go with the deception because I was hoping for survival, but my survival and deception are the same. So,
and
that's,
Valerian, you do have that +2 because of the cloak.
yeah, that's only a 9.
Yeah, it's only a 13. Hey, little Miss High Roller.
21.
All right, so Luminora, it's partly because of your elven heritage and partly because you're a druid. You just kind of know how to make your way through nature to leave no trace. As you're just kind of like hopping around, trying to throw off the track. Cass with only a 9 for your deception. And Tevin also is trying to help you cover your tracks, either with sticks, knocking over rocks and stuff like that to cover your path. It literally just looks like you're dragging sticks over your... It's like you're in a sand trap on a golf course, and you're using the rake to cover your footsteps, so it just looks freshly raked instead of like natural sand. That's kind of what you and Tevin are able to do to cover the tracks. And Valerian with a 13, I mean, you're trying, but every now and then, you step a little heavy, or you drag your foot, so it's like footprint toe drag. Overall, it might not be the easiest for anyone to follow these steps, but at the same time, as a party,
Not great.
it's not great cotton.
Well, hopefully it'll just look like someone dragging a rake. They'll think it's one person when they're looking for 3 or 4.
Perfect. As you get into where the path that you're on starts to decline almost into a cavern, you notice that it's quite dark into the cavern, and you hear echoes and sound just radiating as you go. But this is definitely where the map is showing you that you have to go.
So there's sounds coming from like inside the cave?
You hear yourselves echoing back from within the cave.
Gotcha.
How do you wish to proceed?
Well, unfortunately, I'm not the quietest one here. I can try to sneak, but I don't think it's going to go well with this plate armor.
Even as he's saying that, like, they just turn around. I'm just kind of stretching my legs a little bit. All right. Let's stealth this thing.
And the option, I would say either I should be at the front and just draw all the attention, or at the back to cover the rear, in case anybody comes behind us.
You see that Tevin speaks up and is like, I mean this with respect. Maybe you take up the rear, and I can use produce flame to have a torch so that we can kind of see where we're going as we go through this. Because also I've seen you throw literal lightning. So if you're in the back, I'm not too worried about what you can do to help us in the front.
Then I'll cover the rear.
I'll take the middle. I think you, Valerian, should lead the way here.
I suppose I can take point on this one.
Okay.
I suppose anybody could make us a little quieter, can they?
Did you pick up pass without trace?
It's not like activated or whatever.
I mean, I'll gladly let you retcon that if you wanted to swap a spell. You haven't used anything else today, but completely up to you. You haven't seen anything that says that you're being followed, so I'll let that be your decision.
Valerian, you have the most stealth, right?
Yeah.
I think if Valerian kind of leads, and we're not like a tight group,
Okay.
to proceed.
Yeah, I can scout a little bit.
All right, so you're gonna scout ahead.
I am.
Okay. Do you have a torch
Great.
or anything like that, or do you want Tevin up there with you, using produce flame, just holding the flame to assist?
I do have a torch, but I also have dark vision. Since you said something about light, knowing that we have dark vision, I feel like the light's going to come in handy.
I forget who all has dark vision. I don't know why, because you're all either part elf or dwarf. Everyone has dark vision in this, I guess.
Yeah, everybody's got dark vision, but that only helps us if there's no light, then it's dim light, and so it's still disadvantage on checks and all that.
I'll take my torch. I'll have Tevin light it for me.
Lights it.
If I scream, don't save yourselves. Come and save me.
Oh, okay.
All right. Good boy.
So the walking order is Valerian in front, then Tevin, Luminora, and then Cass. Correct?
Yeah,
Okay.
seems like it to me.
How far apart are you guys trying to be as you make your way down? Because as you go into this cavern, you notice that the pathway and the cave wall starts out a little bit wider, and it gets to about 10 feet wide. So you could walk 2 by 2 if you wanted to, but that's about it. And as you start making your way in, you notice that the cave wall on one side of you, so as you're walking, it'd be on your right hand side, kind of starts to fall away, and then you just notice that there's a cavern that you cannot see the bottom of, just almost like an abyss to your right hand side, and then the cave wall on the left kind of opens up, but it's just a cliff wall, 70-80 feet up on the other side. So it's a wall and then nothing but like a 10-foot walking path. So how much distance are you guys trying to have between each of you?
I'll probably be like, I don't know, 20, probably like 30 feet up, I guess.
Okay.
I was going to say probably like 10, 15 feet behind Tevin.
Okay.
I'll get like 10, 15 feet behind Luminora.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
J. Edgar's just on my shoulder.
Chris Honor. That's right.
Just being a good boy.
It's
Nice and
been
quiet.
several hours, so he's definitely back.
Yes.
All right. As you are making your way, and it seems like the path that you're on, it's like on a slight decline, but it's not difficult terrain by any means. It's definitely a walking path, just in an odd placement. and the cavern, is kind of winding a little bit here and there, but it just kind of keeps getting deeper and deeper and deeper. As you all are walking, obviously from front to back is about 60 feet. Are you trying to communicate?
1 second. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. I'm so sorry.
I imagine I'm trying to do more like hand signals than anything. Just like, thumbs up for all clear, just hand, for keep moving, and just constantly trying to look behind us, make sure nothing sneaks up on us.
All right.
I think I'll use my cantrip, minor illusion, every like few seconds, or like every, I don't know, 20 feet or so, and just like a little thumbs up left behind for the rest of the party.
Every 20 feet for the next mile. Hell yeah.
Maybe like every 100 feet then. Just every once in a while.
You just get 3,000 thumbs ups.
I think his thumb's stuck on the button.
Fantastic. So you're just creating an image of like a thumbs up as you go.
Yeah, just kind of leaving
every
it
so
behind.
often.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. Right.
I was gonna do mage hand, but I don't want to make any noise.
Yeah, I was trying to think for Cass, bringing up the back, what kind of check, to make sure everyone's paying attention. Let's have Luminora, for sure Luminora, give me an investigation check, just to see how well you can do it with advantage.
A 14?
Just to make sure that you can see, like when you look over your shoulder, that Cass is giving like a thumbs up or like let's keep going, things like that.
Right.
With a 14, yeah, he's only 15, 20 feet behind you. You can definitely keep track of those. Everyone also give me a perception check.
17.
That's a 6.
19 for me.
Okay.
Finally, I rolled something high.
Tevin rolled a nat 1. He's just
Drinking
trying.
about that sunshine.
He I think that Tevin's just nervous because he's on. It's not even that narrow of a walkway, but he's just on a narrow walkway, so he's nervous and just like watching his feet and watching Valerian in front of him, watching his feet, watching Valerian. With a 17 and a 19 for Luminora and Valerian, you notice that just as you're walking, some rocks are falling down the cliffside, like small rocks. But every now and then, when some rocks, the size of like a softball might fall, you look towards the wall, look up, and you notice again that in kind of the cracks of the walls, there's Blythe behind the rocks. Again, doesn't really look like it's running up or running down, but it kind of looks like it's swirling from time to time. Is there anything else that are you just trying to be like dead quiet as you guys are making your way? Or are you trying to talk, to discuss? I mean, Cass,
I'm definitely trying to be quiet.
Give Valerian the map in case there's turns up ahead, or are you just hoping for the best?
No, I would have given him the map to make sure he leads us the right way.
But yeah, I definitely would have thought to take that.
All right. Well, since you guys are being quiet and kind of taking your time, Valerian, give me either a let's do a survival check, but with advantage.
Right. That's a 13.
Okay.
Thank you, advantage.
So with the 13, you know that as you're looking at the map, there seems to be like on the map that there's like walkways and pathways that split, but you haven't seen one this entire time. Like it's just been a single path the entire way. You don't know if that means that those pathways have just eroded or if there's some other weird trickery going on with these branches. But from what you can tell is that you're still on the right path.
Well, that's good. At least.
Yeah. You guys see anything? I got nothing behind us.
Yes, do you see the Blythe here?
I'm not seeing anything, but I'm probably too busy looking for movement and people coming up. Or are you like pointing it out to them?
Pointing it out.
Yeah, I don't like the fact that it's still all here, and it doesn't seem to be doing anything or responding to anything.
As you guys are walking, you're passing another one of my illusions of just like a big, like a hand pointing at the Blythe.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely don't want to touch it. No sense anyone's getting infected with it.
Luminora, give me a
but-
perception check.
Who? Me?
Yeah, Luminora.
15.
Okay, so with a 15, you notice that as you're drawing attention to the Blythe, it seems to move. It doesn't seem like it's flowing up or down or anything like that. But you notice that it just seems to have a little bit more movement as you focus on it.
And before we came in the cave, where we saw like in the cracks, it was there, but it wasn't moving or anything. Right?
With your perception check back then, no. It looked pretty stagnant.
Gotcha.
Do you relay that to us?
Yes. Sorry. Or to you, I guess, because Kevin and Valerian.
I don't like the fact that it seems to notice where you look at it and implies some kind of mind behind it, or at least even something primal like a animal. If it tries to move too much, I'm ready for it though.
Well, let's just keep our eyes open for it. And I'm just gonna like start walking, maybe like a little bit quicker pace, just because of Tevin and Valerian, to kind of catch up for whatever seconds was just lost.
Tevin's still with you guys.
Oh, I thought he was right behind you.
He's about 30 feet behind Valerian. He's about 10, 15 feet in front of you. So he's closer to you than
Okay.
to Valerian.
I thought he was with Valerian.
And you can tell him to pick up the pace too, but you're closer to Tevin than Tevin is to Valerian.
Well, Valerian didn't get very far ahead of us, did he?
He's
only like
just
15.
like maintaining like about 30 feet.
Okay, then yeah. I kind of do want to get the heck out of this cave.
So yeah, I'm gonna look around at these caves a little more and see if I can figure out if they're natural or if something carved these things.
Okay. For that, give me a nature check.
Well, actually, with stone cunning,
Oh, fuck, that's right.
I would do a history check with my proficiency. I'm considered proficiency and add double my proficiency bonus to the check. So I basically get to add 6 to this, even though I have a -1 normally to history. So that is a 20.
Dirty 20. Okay. So as you are looking at the stonework, you can tell that the abyss and cavern that is to your right as you're making your way down this path here, that seems to be natural. And it seems to be like ancient, thousands of years old. The walkway that you're on that's been kind of molded out of this cliff face seems to be much, much newer. Couple of 100 years.
So, seems like somebody found these natural caverns and have been widened it or made it traversable instead of, this whole tunnel isn't just something created by somebody.
Because you had the dirty 20 on that, I'm not even gonna have you roll a perception check, but you can assume that because that you have this map leading you to a portal, you can gather that this pathway has been carved out over the past couple 100 years for people to get to this portal. So like this walkway has been carved out so that the people that know about this portal can get to it.
Alright, so this portal's been here a while. Somebody found it and made a way to get to it, at least. So it's a little encouraging that it's been around this long. It also means people from down here might have been coming up to the surface for a while, too. Or vice versa.
As
I'm like pretty curious about the coin Tevin got from his dad. Like, I'm kind of curious if his dad knew, like, all along or something. Oldengarf.
and you can ask Tevin about it, or you can ponder.
I'm gonna ponder more.
Okay. So you all continue your way down this pathway. For Valerian, who's in the front, you can kind of see this glow a little about 60-ish feet in front of you, 60 to 80 feet in front of you. And based on the map, that's the portal. I need Cass and Valerian both to give me perception checks.
Oh, nice.
That's a nat 20.
That's a 4.
All right.
Because, yeah, again, no proficiency in perception.
And then Luminora, give me a perception check at disadvantage.
26.
Dang.
Fuckhole. Okay. That's
Natural
wild
19.
that 26 was the lower of the two rolls.
It was a natural 19 and a natural 20.
Hell yes.
I love it.
Cass is rolling horrible tonight.
So, Cass, you're kind of looking around, but even though it's off in the distance, just having dark vision, you can't quite tell what it is, gleams your eye. In reality, it's the portal, but something catches your eye up there, so you can't really focus on anything else around you. Through your various means of hand signals, communication, and stuff like that, you know that you're close to the portal, so you get excited that this is you're approaching the destination. Valerian, you notice as you see this portal, and you've been noticing like rocks falling here and there as you've been making your way, but you see the rocks really start to rumble near this portal. And Luminora, you notice rocks start to really rumble behind you. Sorry for the interruption, dear heroes, but I just have to ask. Are you like me and my friends, where your food tends to be lacking just a little something extra? If you are, then look no further than Crybaby Craig's hot sauce to fix all of your spicy and saucy needs. Because this pickled habanero and garlic hot sauce will go on practically anything. It was started by Craig himself in the Twin Cities of Minnesota, and this sauce has become a staple of all hot sauces and flavor enhancers across the lands for many, many moons. If you don't believe me, go and check out crybabycraigs.com and order yours today to, quite frankly, just better your life. Or at least your taste buds. But be sure to let them know that we sent you and enjoy the best damn hot sauce there is. No? Let's get back to the show.
Dun, dun, dun.
As the rocks start to rumble, they almost start to fall like a landslide, but they hit the pathway, and then two humanoid rock figures emerge from these rubbles. And you notice with your perception, both Valerian and Luminora, in between the rocks, they seem to be held together by Blythe. You see this black sludge almost acting as the body underneath this rock armor. There are two in front of you, Valerian, and Luminara, you notice one pop up behind Cass. And I need everyone to roll initiative.
This just seems
Can I shout like to Cass?
Yeah,
Like behind you or
absolutely.
something? To where he's not like caught off guard or something like that. Okay. And Tevin, of course.
Well, at least I rolled decent for initiative.
Good. Okay. Let's go there. So, Valerian, you rolled a
21.
21. Tevin rolled a 17. Cass also rolled a 17. Luminara had a 19. Cass, what is your does it go off of dexterity or proficiency bonus for the tiebreak?
Dex. Dexterity.
Say that again. Sorry, you froze for a second.
Dexterity.
Okay. What is your dex?
-1.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Tevin's going before me.
Yes. So let's go. Oh, Tevin is going before you. Oh. Okay. So Valerian, in front of you, about 15 to 20 feet, are these two rock monsters, and then about 15 feet behind Cass is the third one. Valerian, what are you doing for your... You go first.
Okay. So 15 to 20 feet in front of me is the two.
Yep, one's 5 feet. They're about 8 feet tall, very humanoid. So they're blocking the way.
So as I see them start to take shape, I let my feet down, kind of getting my crossbow ready. I'm assuming I don't know about the one in behind Cass. I don't think I can really see them very well. So I'm gonna.
Luminora said that she yelled so that both Cass
Right.
and Tevin. So you at least know that she saw something. You don't know maybe how many are back there.
So then I'm gonna use my steady aim, and I'm going to shoot at whichever one's closer to me with the
Okay.
crossbow. Is a 15 hit.
15 on this just hits.
Yay! That is for 4 piercing.
I thought you used steady aim
Yeah, so roll the steady aim.
to give yourself advantage in sneak attack.
Yes, sorry. My bad. That. Gosh, how did I forget this? I'm so sorry.
I'll
36.
forgive you, I guess. Just kidding. Actually.
Okay, so 4 and then 12 sneak.
So 16. Okay.
16 total. And then when I hit him, I turn around and run back towards the rest of the party, just to see what Luminora is screaming about. And then I tell them what
But if
what
you
lies
use
ahead.
steady aim, doesn't that give up your movement?
Oh my gosh, it does. Okay, I'm sorry. Just mess. I'm just forgetting everything today.
Ruh-roh, your GM is learning your abilities.
Just forgetting everything today.
Ruh-roh.
Okay, so yeah, I will just yell out, "We've got some company up here, but I can't move."
All right. Well then, Luminora, then that goes to you. The one that is behind Cass is about 25, 30 feet, so could
So I wouldn't be able to reach.
Well, it depends on what you're sending at them.
Oh, sorry, I meant like with a melee.
you could get within melee range because you should have. I think you have 30 feet of movement.
I do, yeah, but I thought Cass was like 15 feet behind me. Still,
Yeah,
so
and they're
not-
about 10, 15 feet behind him.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So from you, they're like 25, 30 feet.
Okay, I thought you meant from Cass. Sorry, my apologies. Okay, I am going to go up to the one behind Cass. I'm just gonna play it like this. And use my scimitar. 16,
16 hits.
5 slashing, and then I will also use Halo of Spores.
Okay, and that remind me again. At your level, what's the DC save on that? Is it 14 or 15?
I believe it's 15. Yep, 15.
It just barely passes.
Yep.
So no damage there. So then that's going to go to Tevin, who is going to run forward up to Valerian. He is going to steady himself as he comes running up and is going to produce flame at this rock Blythe monster. He rolls a 23. So both Cass and Luminora, over your shoulders, you see this cavern light up with a like a flame that just gets hurled away from you. You hear it hit this monster. It doesn't react the way that all of the other Blythe monsters have reacted to fire. So it only takes 8 points of damage. He throws it at the same one that Valerian just shot at. So you hear, well, Valerian, you would hear the fire hit the rock, dissipate, but then you still hear a little bit of sizzle of like the Blythe burning, but it's not as intense or aggressive as what fire has done to these Blythe monsters in the past. And then that is going to go to Cass.
Alright. Well, since Luminora decided to just charge in, better back her up. And so I'll advance up and I will swing my quarterstaff on this one behind us. That's only an 8.
An 8 misses.
Second attack. That's a 24
That one hits.
for 9 bludgeoning.
Okay.
And then, where is it? Offhand.
Spear butt.
That's only a 9. I am rolling like absolute garbage tonight.
9 misses.
Absolute garbage.
Okay. So that goes to these rock monster turns. The two that are in the front, because they are rock, they're a little bit heavy, so they kind of like lumber. Both of them are going to lumber their way up towards Valerian and Tevin. One of them is going to stay a few feet back, and is going to do a basically it takes its hand and just throws, and you see a chunk of its hand fly off and is hurled towards Valerian. Does a 22 hit Valerian?
Yeah. Yes, it does.
All right.
Considerably.
Oh, that damage did not roll very well. So that is only for 4 points of bludgeoning damage.
It's only 2. Because I'm going to use my uncanny dodge reaction to half that damage.
Okay. Yeah, so as this rock comes flying at you, you try and just almost like Matrix dodge this. It clips your arm as you're over dramatically flailing to dodge it. Hits your arm, basically hits your funny bone, and scrapes your elbow, and you're like, ah, shit, that hurt.
That wasn't very funny.
For 2 points of damage there. That's the 2 in the front, because one of them used all of its movement to get to the front, to get all the way up to you, but was not close enough to strike. The one in back sees both Cass and Luminora just right there. The first one, it's going to use it has a multi-attack, so it just brings up both arms, brings it down on Luminora first. Does a 16 hit Luminora?
I think it might just barely. It does. Unfortunately.
Okay, and then, brings its arms up and brings them back down on Cass, and does a 24 hit, Cass?
You're gonna see just black, almost ooze and lightning crackle out from Cass and spread out and block it as I cast shield, and that makes it not hit.
Holy shit, your shield gets you up to 24?
25.
Up to... Oh, fuck, bud. Okay. Well... Luminora, I'm so sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry. As it swings down on you, Luminora, for the first hit, it deals 17 points of damage.
Whoa.
And then as it tries again on Cass, because it basically just slams down on one of you, slams down on the other. Suddenly, as Cass describes, this lightning that's oozing black energy at the same time comes down on top of it, hits, and it just kind of domes over him for no damage. And then that is back up to Valerian.
Rock monster. Okay. So I have one up to me right now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's like 5 feet away, but yeah.
Okay. Where is Tevin at in relation to me?
Right next to you.
Okay. All right. So I pull out my rapier and look at Tevin, and I tell him, "Run!" And then I'm going to swing at this rock monster guy with my rapier with booming blade. Is a 23 hit?
A 23 hits.
Okay. So that'll be 7 plus, it's a d8 of
Thunder.
Nah.
But that D8 doesn't happen unless he moves willingly, correct?
No.
So at 5th level, it does 1d8 on
The
just a
hit.
hit.
Oh, and then
does-
it does additional when he moves.
Additional 2d8 if he moves.
Oh, sweet.
See, I wasn't going to tell him how much.
So you roll your
They're rock monsters. They're gonna...
It's only two thunder.
Okay, so
So 9 total.
is Tevin within 5 feet of this thing?
no, because in order for Valerian to get to it, he had to take 5
Okay.
feet of movement forward. So Tevin's about 5 feet behind him.
Okay.
So 9. Okay. Fantastic. Anything else that
That's why I
you...
checked. I thought maybe he was like right there. Yeah, and then I'm going to cunning action, disengage, and then probably just get about 10 feet even behind Tevin. Or, well, I have 30, so maybe I'll do 15 feet. So that would put me at about 10 feet behind Tevin.
Okay.
That will be my turn.
All right. So what Tevin is going to do is he's going to yell back for Cass and Luminora first and be like, guys, the portal's right here. We should run. We should run for it. And then we can defend ourselves from the back instead of what's going on here. And so what he is going to do is Tevin is going to take the dodge action, or basically use his action to disengage as he runs past the rock monsters that are in front of him. But with the disengage, it only affects the first one, doesn't it?
Nope, affects all.
It affects all. Hell yeah. And he is... Well, I don't think that this is a bonus action.
No, for him, it's an action to disengage.
Oh, I was seeing if he could try and use a spell to either command or charm person to have Valerian try and come with him, or Luminora. But those both take actions. So he's basically pleading for you guys to get out of there. And he's going to run. So now he is about 10 or 15 feet behind the rock monsters that were originally in front of you all. And that's going to be his turn. So then that is going to go to Cass.
Did you skip Luminora?
Yeah.
I did. I'm so sorry. Luminora, that is your turn.
It's
You
okay.
walked away, and then I was like, Tevin, and that's terrible of me. Luminora, that is your turn.
Well, I think I am going to disengage and bolt after Tevin.
Okay.
Before I disengage, though, can I use Halo of Spores?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
What's the max that you do at this level? Was it 8?
I think it's
4.
8 when I'm in symbiotic entity, but I
Okay.
think when I'm not, it's 4.
Because it fails. And while you start with your full movement, you can get because you ran backwards first, so now you're running back forward, so you can get about to where Valerian is.
Okay.
But as you do your Halo of Spores, give me a perception check with advantage.
17.
So with a 17, everything that you know about Blythe so far is that it is some sort of decrepit disease.
Mhm.
But for some reason here, it still does the normal damage, but you can see that that your spores start to eat very aggressively at the Blythe between the rocks. Like it looks like if you throw a bunch of cheese in a frying pan and to melt it, like all the bubbles as it starts to harden. You notice that that's happening. Doesn't do like extra damage or anything like that, but you notice just how it reacts to natural fungus.
Okay.
And then that is Cass. Unless you wanted, well, you used disengage and then movement. So yeah, Cass.
Yeah, that's my turn.
Alright, you ugly bastards. I'm not gonna let you get to them. And so, as in action, I am going to, at 2nd level, cast Armor of Agathis on myself. And so, you see more of the like black lightning and Blythe just kind of form, but it almost forms like a extra suit of armor around Cass's existing plate, like almost like a shoulder mantle on him, and then I'm gonna just back away from it.
Okay. So it gets an opportunity of attack.
Yep.
Doesn't come close. It was a natural 3 on the die. So,
So I move back, my 25 with my short, stubby dwarf legs.
all right. So then that comes to the rock monsters. One is going to stay back and notice that Tevin ran past it. So it's going to, again, raise its arm and just throw. And you just notice more rocks detach from its arm as you notice more rocks from the ground just kind of replenish it. Just flying towards Tevin, which was a 23 to hit, but that is only for 6 points of damage. So it hits Tevin. He kind of shakes it off, but you can tell that the rocks kind of hurt him. You kind of hear him just go, in the distance. So, like, you know that he was hit. You don't know how badly he was hurt. And then the other one is going to do its slam attacks. First one on Luminora is only a 13. The second one on Valerian is a 22. And I'm assuming a 22 hits Valerian.
It does. How did it get up to me?
That one used its movement. I'm sorry, I didn't explain that. The one that you kind of backed away from used its movement to get up to where you and Luminor were, and then slams on both of you.
Ooh, but as soon as he does,
roll your booming blade damage.
6 thunder.
Okay, so 6. With that thunder damage, it doesn't push, does it? I didn't think so.
Let me check.
Not unless you're a Tempest Cleric.
Nope, they do not.
Okay. And then, but Valerian, after that damage is done with its movement, it does make its way up to you. Again, swings down on Luminora, misses, still kind of orientating itself after that booming blade damage. Lifts its hands again, swings down on you, Valerian, for 10 points of damage.
I will use my reaction to halve that damage.
Okay.
I love that uncanny dodge.
And then the last one at the back is going to start following Cass. Does catch up to him, is going to...
Well, as he walks into my melee range, I get a free shot on him.
Go for it.
Because a polearm master. That's an 18 to hit.
Get out of my bubble.
An 18 does hit.
That is 9 bludgeoning to him.
9 bludgeon. Okay. It comes up as it's walking up on you, has its hands above its head, starts to bring it down. You hit it with your quarterstaff, kind of throws it off a little bit. So the first hit misses with only a 17 total. Raises its fist again, brings it down with a 26 to hit.
Yeah, that'll hit.
For 14 damage.
All right. And it takes, in response to hitting me with my armor of Agathis, it takes 10 cold damage.
Okay. Fantastic. So then that comes back up to Valerian.
Excuse me. Sorry. The one that came up to me, again, I'm just gonna... I already have my rapier out, so I'm gonna run past him, swipe at him with the rapier and the booming blade again, and then obviously use my cunning action to disengage. But here's the rapier attack.
24 hits.
4 to hit. Okay. I don't know why it's asking me to what level I want to cast something at, and it won't let me close out of it. There we go. So that'll be 7 piercing plus 2 thunder. So 9 total.
It should sneak attack too because Luminora is within its melee, and hers.
That's true. Oh shit, bud.
I love you, Dave.
So another
Figured out
3
where the button
on
for
it.
this was. There you go.
Only 8
Only 8. 2 nat 1s.
and a 6.
So 17 total.
Math in my head. Okay.
As I zip past him, but like another 25 feet past him.
Okay. So you are from there. You are just approaching the other one that has been kind of keeping its distance, just so that you are aware. So there's one more between you and where Tevin is. And then Luminora.
I'm coming, little buddy.
That's you.
I am going to use Halo Spores,
Okay. Fails.
and then I'm going to disengage and continue running after Tevin.
Okay. Yeah. So now you and Valerian are within 5 feet of the one that was kind of keeping its distance of the rock monsters, and Tevin's about 15 feet on the other side of it. And then anything else that you want to do with your turn?
Nope, that'll be it.
Okay. So then Tevin, having a little bit of distance, is going to wants to keep his distance, so he's just going to cast Produce Flame again. It's a 21 to hit, but only does 2 points of damage on the one that's between himself and Valerian and Luminora. And he just yells into the cavern of Cass, come on, if we're all together we can hold them off and get out of here.
I don't run very fast.
And Cass, that is your turn.
All right. So there's the one I'm facing who came up behind us.
Mhm.
The one kind of behind now to my back that was the one that Valerian and all them just ran away from, so to speak.
Yeah, you're about 55 feet from that one.
So I still got like 60 feet to go just to catch up to that one.
50 feet, yeah.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to get there fast enough. Might be better off just trying to take this thing out. So Cass, being what he is just like, take me too long to run past even the middle one, let alone get up past the third one. I'm just going to wail on this first one I've been fighting.
Okay.
That one. The first swing, not my night for dice rolls. Only a 14 with the second one. Wow.
Yeah, both miss.
Spear butt. Wow. Everything.
Also misses.
That is just like some awful dice rolling. But I use my bonus action for my offhand, so yep, I'm just gonna square up against this thing.
Okay. Let's get through this next round. So that goes to the rock monsters. The first one that has just been kind of keeping his distance and throwing stuff now sees Valerian and Luminora right next to him and is going to swing down and use its multi-attack on Valerian. That's a 15 to hit.
Hate to say it, but it does barely hit.
It does barely hit. Okay. Only for 8 points of damage.
You mean 4 points of damage? Uncanny dodge.
Fair enough.
I love this thing.
For 4 points of damage, it swings down hard. Doesn't do what it was hoping to do, but then lifts its fists up again, slams them back down on Luminora for 26 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
for 16 points of damage. The one in the middle is going to hurl some rocks back at Cass. That was a nat 20.
Oof.
All right. Not much I can do about that anyway, regardless.
For 21 points of damage, of bludgeoning damage.
Ow.
And then the one standing next to you, Cass, is going to do 2 slam attacks for an 11 and a 16.
Yeah, both of those miss.
All right. So what is everyone at HP wise?
I have 5.
22 for me.
I've got 29.
Okay. So then that at this point in time, everyone give me a perception check at initiative 0.
19 for me.
That's a 3 for me, because my dice rolls keep going.
A 7 or 10.
Just think on the next one, you're going to be rolling all nat
17.
20s.
Okay. So Valerian, Luminora, and Tevin all notice that. Oh, buddy. At initiative 0, you guys notice that more rocks start to fall by Cass. You see this behemoth of a rock monster. Cass is still dueling with this rock monster. And this behemoth, 15 foot tall, takes up the entire pathway. Rock monster. You actually see Blythe flowing between the rocks instead of just kind of holding it together. Stands up behind Cass, and with a 26 to hit, you see its one hand go back, turn into a rock-shaped cone, almost like a joust, rams it through the back of Cass, lifts him off the ground. This is for 25 points of damage. Lifts Cass off the ground. I also need Luminora, Valerian, and Tevin all to make dexterity saving throws.
13.
13 for me. 2.
Okay, all 3 of you pass. So the ground just starts to shake. Other rocks start falling around you. You see off in the distance, Cass gets speared through the back, lifted off of the ground as he's being held there for 25 points of damage. And Valerian, that is your turn.
So yeah, I see Cass getting impaled. Basically. How far from Cat? I'm 50-ish feet from him.
Yes.
More like 70. I was
Oh yeah, because you kept going. Yeah, you are
like more like 75.
like 75 feet away from him.
Okay, yeah, because I'm at the first rock monster guy.
So even if you were to dash, which wouldn't allow you to do really anything, you can't even get there.
But in theory, if he really wanted to, he could get there, but he'd have to use his action, movement, and then cunning action to dash. But that's everything, and he was
But then you still can't do anything to help.
Yeah.
Then you're just stuck next to a monster that just impaled your partner.
There's a way through this. I know there is. Okay.
You hear Tevin scream over your shoulder as you're watching this.
Like out of
Just
shock?
out of shock and fear.
Okay. I don't care. I'm getting to him. Yeah, I'm gonna just.
Wait, can I? So, is it possible to use action to
Say that again. Sorry, your mic cut out.
Is it possible to use my action?
Your mic is not working. I just hear you like in the room.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Is it possible to use my action to dash and then use my cunning action to like dash again?
Yes.
Okay.
That's one of the options. It's bonus action, disengage, dash, or hide.
I've got to get to my buddy.
I see where you're going with this. Just know that you don't have any attacks. The rock monster and this giant rock monster both get to go before your next turn, if you are right there.
And both guys you're running past will get opportunity attacks.
I've got an owl and a prayer. I could never live with myself if I watched Cass just get mauled by some weird rock things as it's close from going home. He's getting home. He's getting home. I'm gonna do it.
Before you do that, give me a perception check.
That's a 21.
With a 21, as you're looking around, weighing your options, you see in one direction Tevin looking terrified, like almost reaching out like, let's go. This sucks. Let's go. I need you. You look right over your shoulder. You see Luminora, who is looking really hurt. And then you look forward and you see Cass impaled, bleeding out. Not just blood dripping from his wound as he's impaled. You see black sludge dripping out of the wound.
I'm going to use our one to keep it PG-13, but fuck.
You also with a 21, I mean, it's a perception check, not an insight check, but with a 21, you can gather that what you decide in the next few seconds can be the difference of you all dying or some of you surviving.
No.
I don't like this.
No pressure.
My hand is like gripping my rapier. Like,
I mean, I'm still
knuckling.
conscious right now, so
Right, there's hope here.
well, I'm looking at you guys with this thing sticking out of my gut, and I just look over you guys and go, "Get out of here!" I knew what was going on. I didn't expect to make it back to the surface, but I'm gonna damn well make sure that you guys do.
I give 60. Can I send J. Edgar with at least a potion of greater healing clutched in his talons?
Yeah, I'll allow that. To bring a potion to him, and then also he'll be there, so I will allow him to give the help action, as well.
I give Cass just like a nod while he's just flailing with his insides kind of becoming his outsides.
I'm pretty stoic. I'm just kind of just like looking at it and then looking back at this thing and gritting my teeth, and you can see the blood coming out because I'm still alive, but that's still really freaking hurt.
I turn and disengage from Rock Monster and run towards Tevin.
Okay.
And I tell Luminora we have to go.
So with the disengage action, no one gets attacks of opportunity on you. And that's Luminora. That is Luminora's turn.
I am going to enter symbiotic entity.
Okay. Is that I always forget. I should know. I play a druid in a
Well,
different
for
campaign.
her, it's a action.
Okay. And then are you going to what do you do once you go into symbiotic entity? Because you have a giant rock monster holding a capsicle, and then another rock monster behind him, and then there's one right next to you, a rock monster right next to you, and then about 15 feet past that is another rock monster, and then Valerian and Tevin are about 10 to 15 feet past them. So you can get to them with your full movement to Tevin and Valerian. You cannot make it to Cass. Yeah.
Is disengage an action then?
It is.
Disengage is an action.
Unless you're a rogue.
So if you run past them, I mean, you're in symbiotic entity, so you at least have the temp HP.
Mm-hmm.
So they will get opportunity attacks, but they won't be like the multi attacks or anything like that. They'll just swing once, but you can get past both of them if that's the direction you choose to go. If you take Valerian's warning,
I will go with Tevin.
Okay.
I'm so squishy. I don't think I'd.
so with your symbiotic entity, that gives you at this level, is it 12 or 16 HP?
20.
Yeah, 20.
20? Holy shit. I mean,
It's 4 per level.
I thought you didn't get circle until third level.
It's 4 per druid level.
Oh, shoot. Hell yeah. That's what's up. Well, as you run past the first one, gets a natural 7 on the die, so misses. And then what is your AC in symbiotic? Does that affect your AC? No, it doesn't. What's your AC? Because it got a 16.
My AC is 16.
16. Only 4 points of damage. So you go into this beastly symbiotic entity. Mushrooms start sprouting out from under your leather, like shoulder guards, out of the cuff of your neckline, sprouting out from behind the ears, everything like that. And as you start running, the first rock monster swings down, hits just behind you. And as you continue running, the other one swings down and just kind of clips your shoulder, basically enough to where you're like, that might bruise tomorrow, but I think I'm okay. And then you catch up to where Valerian and Tevin are. Tevin is going to cast, again, just produce flame towards the closest monster. Rolls a nat 1, so definitely misses. But now the three of you are only about 10 feet away from the portal. Cass, that is to you. I need you to either, well, Jagger is there with a potion of greater healing, but I need you, basically all you can use a bonus action to take it. So you'll have to roll for it because I need you to do either an athletics or a strength check. But since Jagger is there, you will have advantage.
Just to get off this thing's hook.
Yes. To get off that thing's hook, but he's kind of has you up in the air. So instead of athletics, I just want a raw strength check to try and shove yourself off and either distance yourself or push this monster because he has you off the ground about 5-ish feet.
That's a 19.
With a 19, as you wrestle with this monster, trying to get its stone spear out of you, you start to feel it wobble. And you know that the only way that wasn't enough to fully break free with a 19. But I will let you give me another strength save or athletics or any sort of, just roll me an attack roll and add a smite to it to see if you can stop this monster and the one behind it from catching up to your party.
Yeah, I was gonna say if it had been athletics to get off, it would have been a 22, but
Needed a 24 to break free.
yeah. Well, before I do that, I'm gonna take that greater healing as a bonus. 16 healing.
Not bad. That brings you back up to like 20, 21.
Yep, 20. And then I'm gonna, and I'll ask the DM for this, and see if it's what will be allowed with rule of cool. I want to take the javelin of lightning and arc it and jam it into this bastard.
Fuck yeah. Go for it. Do that with advantage.
That is a 24 to hit.
Oh, that hits.
All right, so that is, and you know what? I will pump a second level smite on this. So between the lightning hitting it and then arcing in, Cass is just channeling all of this black lightning out of his body, and there's like using the javelin with his already lightning properties to just funnel it into him like a lightning rod to add even more damage to it.
And
so that is a total of 8 piercing, 15 lightning, and 18 radiant. So that is 33 plus 8, that is 41 damage.
Holy.
And then give me an acrobatics check. It is a DC. I'm just going to tell you now, because you are in the air, this monster is taking up the entire walkway. I do need a nat 20 in order for you to land on the walkway.
Yeah.
But you can use advantage.
That's only 17. I mean, that was low odds to begin with.
I know. I just always forget about that javelin of lightning and how freaking cool that thing is. So as this happens, you pull out the javelin of lightning from your shoulder. You arc it behind your back. From all of the spider veins going up your neck, down your arms, you see all of this blithe run to your fingertips. The javelin itself turns black. There's no light emanating from the lightning. You hear it crackle, but it is just pitch black. It almost absorbs light as you drive it into this giant rock monster. There is a crack of just insane, dark, radiant energy as your feet are still hovering above the ground. As you do this, you just put everything of yourself into the strike, and as the rock monster starts to split, it falls off of the edge of the walkway with you still attached, and you fall into the abyss as lightning and Valerian and Luminora, give me one more perception check as you watch Cass fall over the edge, still impaled after defeating this monstrous rock Blythe. You see him fall into darkness.
Me too.
As you are watching this, both with a 20 and a 22, you see crackling throughout the abyss, instead of just pure black light absorbing lightning that you had just witnessed as he used the javelin, you start to see crackles of yellow and blue as he falls until you see nothing in the abyss, and Cass and this monster is gone.
You shall not
That's what I
pass.
was thinking too. I was like, Kaz better come back as like Cass the White or something there.
Mm-hmm. Same
Uh,
thought.
you guys might.
Okay, so I jump in after him.
Well, they're not out of the woods yet. That goes to the three remaining rock monsters. The one that's furthest in the back can't get close enough to even throw rocks at you guys. But the one that was in the middle takes its movement, tries throwing a rock, tries throwing it at Valerian there, but that is on. Does a 17 hit?
Yeah.
Okay, so 17, only for 8 points of damage.
Uncanny dodge. So 4.
So 4. And then the one that's closest to you is going to run up and swing at Valerian and Tevin. The first one at Valerian, does a 14 hit? I don't think 14 hits, right?
Does not.
Okay. But a 23 hits Tevin, which is going to be for 12 points of damage. So now it is up to Valerian. It's Valerian, Luminora, and Tevin are the next 3 to act. You are all within 10 feet of this portal. You just watched Cass basically sacrifice himself and fall into the abyss. So unless you want to stay and fight, let me know. Otherwise, as a group, we can have you all run the last 10-ish feet to the portal. I mean, there are still 3 rock monsters. The one that is closest to you has barely been touched.
Josh, what do you think?
Oh my gosh, I don't know.
I
I don't
think we
there's
should
anything
run.
we can do.
I really think I don't like what just happened, and we can deal with that, but I don't want to die so close to seeing the sunlight. That's selfish, but I think we should run.
All right, let's run. I vote run.
I hate it, but I
I hate it too.
think that's all we can do.
So the 3 of you run. You get to the portal. You jump into it, and as you are about to jump in, Tevin, just bawling his eyes out, grabs onto both of you. You dive into the portal. You start seeing swirls of light, swirls of darkness, swirls of various colors, blues, purples, orange, reds. You see swirls of fire, swirls of smoke. You feel the sensation of rushing water, and that's where we're going to end the episode.
I have so many emotions right now. I don't even know how to process what?
I don't feel good about any of this.
No.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. Well,
Couldn't even leave J. Edgar behind because, like, I don't know. I'm in a different dimension now. I don't think that would hold.
I mean, he acts on yours. He has a faster flying speed. He probably could have gotten up, right? I don't know. What's his?
I was gonna leave him there and like fly down.
Just leave him there. Fair.
I was gonna have him fly down, pick up the javelin. I'm kidding. But I did think about going through my familiar aspect or whatever. Fly down there. See if he was still alive. If he was still alive, I was jumping in after him, no doubt. Zero doubt.
The distance you would not have survived. Let's just be honest. Well, for our listeners, if you like this show and would like to support us, uh, please head over to Instagram, Facebook, even follow our subreddit. Uh, just Kobolds in the Basement Pod, most places. If you want to be a premium subscriber, that's pretty rad. Head on over to buymeacoffee.com/allthingsnerd. When you subscribe, let us know that it was this show that you are subscribing because of, so that you get member exclusive merch. Also, like, share, subscribe wherever you get your podcasts so that you can stay up to date on episodes, announcements, things like that. If you're over on Buy Me a Coffee, you'll also get bonus content, which is pretty sweet. Does anyone have anything that they want to plug?
Not this week.
Yeah, nothing.
I don't have
No?
anything.
All good? Sweet. Well, if our listeners like other nerdy things, check out the All Things Nerd podcast. Best way to find that is over at www.allthingsnerdpod.com. Yeah. Other than that, goodbye from Kobolds in the Basement.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.